Tyler, the creator, every year will post black mags and say, we started dressing like this because of this music video. Drake had sent me a DM after I did that video, and he was just like, I only have $5,000. And that's like my first video, Black Mags, was a very simple video, great execution.
Classic.
And now, like, everyone I meet to this day still knows that video.
Why do you think that video took off? I love that video, but why do you think it hit at the right moment?
Because it hit at the right moment. Like, it was at this cross-platform of hip-hop changing. Like, money left the music industry.
Right.
And then
streaming just started going
Well, we weren't even streaming yet. We were stealing.
Right. Oh, that was before. That was in the cross.
Yeah, that was the
like
MySpace.
end of Napster, MySpace getting into.
Yep.
Spotify wasn't even a thing.
No, none of that existed. This was back in 2007.
Right. We barely had the iPhone.
YouTube just started.
Oh, right.
Yeah. And so it was Soulja Boy's video was the first viral video on YouTube.
Yeah,
and
that. Yeah.
He's the one who paved the way. Soulja Boy paved the way for people getting paid on YouTube.
Yes.
Remember, he'd always say, I get paid by my haters, because every time someone left a comment, he got paid a nickel.
Yes.
And those add up. And so he's just like, yeah, keep the hate coming.
Yes.
Keep it going. You're giving me a nickel every time you say you hate me.
Soulja Boy really did pioneer a lot.
He did.
And he started his own viral dance.
Yeah.
He was investing in tech and video games and other weird stuff. At the time, we were like, what is he talking about?
Yeah.
But now we look back on it and you're like, oh, he was really on something.
Yeah, and he was like young. He was like 17 at that time.
So that's the Cool Kids Black Mask music video. We'll play that on here. I remember, because we were all young filmmakers in Chicago, and when you dropped that one, it was like a cultural smash.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a big budget video.
But it looked
it looked perfect.
Do you know how many times I've had like MTV producers be like, hey, where did you guys come up with the money? There was no money.
Right.
Drake had sent me a DM after I did that video. And like, this is when he was first starting off. He wasn't Drake yet, you know. But
he was like best I ever had Drake, but still, it was Drake,
and he was just like, I only have $5,000, and I'm just like, I can't do that because you live in Canada. The only way I can do a $5,000 video is if you come to Chicago, and he just couldn't because of scheduling and stuff.
Yeah,
and like, you know, there's other big name rappers who. That's what they were throwing around, was just a couple grand here and there. And again, I'm just like, in order for me to do that, my team is in Chicago. I can't do it without my team.
Yeah, you can pull favors locally.
Yes,
but flying to another city is like a whole.
Yeah, then
like
now you're paying
budget,
full rate on everything.
Yeah,
and
but Black Mags, it was right. First of all, the choice to go black and white.
Yeah,
the way you guys filmed it, it was cinematographically done correct.
By Jake Zaluski.
Shout out to Jake.
Yeah,
he worked with me on my Tyga Tyrese video. He's a skater too, right?
Yeah. He helped on the Vultures listening party Chicago one too. It brought him back.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then he DP'd Chance's. Chance did this private show. It wasn't too private. It was like 1,500 people, so it wasn't too private. But it was a small show for Chance.
Yeah,
and I brought Jake in to DP that. Dope. So we kind of reunited just recently because we didn't work together since Pennies, and then so that was like 15 years ago, and then now we just started working together again.
Wow. And I remember the Cool Kids also were a point of that transition of like the hipster kids.
Yeah, it was fashion. Because in hip hop, no one saw hip hop kids dress like that.
Right.
And I remember when our whole crew, before we did Black Mags, our whole crew went down to South by Southwest. And this is like, you know, during the My Chang Hang Low,
I remember that.
Quadruple XL, white tees. And we show up all thrift store kids. And it was like Kid Sister, Flosstradamus, the Cool Kids, Mano, Hollywood Holt. Like we all like showed up.
That whole crew, yeah.
Yeah, and we went down there and we had like, because this was before they even made skinny jeans. So we would have to take...
Before skinny jeans!
Yeah, and so, but we were wearing skinny jeans and we would make our own skinny jeans. And so we would take Gap women's long and leans, and they had a little flare, and then we would sew the flare out and then cut it off, and then we would have skinny jeans. And no one else was doing that. And then Kurt from Flosstradamus, he found this like store that had all this dead stock snapbacks, because this was back when everyone was wearing flat brim fitted with the stickers.
The new eras,
Yeah, and so he found all of those like snapbacks from the 90s, and we all kept it a top secret, and we only told when someone came into the crew, we'd be like, all right, you had to be taken there, and we're like, you can't tell anyone,
right? And
so we were the only one wearing these snapbacks, you know, the starter all the starter clothing, skinny jeans. And when we showed up to South by Southwest, we traveled in a big group, and everyone was just like, what the fuck, what is I remember people stopping us and being like, going like this, being like, why do you guys dress like this? And we're like, we're from
that
Chicago.
was such a baggy era. Over there, everybody was triple XL.
Yeah, and it blew everyone's mind. And with the sound, because of the cool kids, they had a very stripped back sound at the time when it was very heavily produced.
Yes.
All the music at that time, it was like on the out of the P. Diddy era of the big hits, right? And then the cool kids come in with this very stripped down, boombastic sound, and and they had the thick rope chains and the thick gazelles, and because we were just finding the shit in the thrift stores, like we were finding gazelles in the thrift store, and we would just wear them because they were like $2. We were all like
bringing back like the Big Daddy Kane era.
Like exactly. And then putting it with a new flair with Nike Dunks and then skinny jeans, and then it influenced so many people. It influenced the pack, and then Tyler, the creator, like every year will post Black Mags and say, we started dressing like this because of this music video.
Wow.
And, he always gives credit to Chuck and Twan, and it's really cool. I love that he does that still to this day, even like last year.
Do you ever just sit with that art that you created influenced some of the biggest artists today?
Yeah, because I remember then like getting mad at like some of the pop artists. Yeah. I think it was like when I saw Tyga. And I'm like, what? He's dressing like us. I was like, he's not a part of the scene. I'm like, what is he doing? Because we were very protective of the scene, you know? And we're like, this is our culture. And now he's out there wearing skinny jeans. But then like people started making skinny jeans, and then it was readily available. And then everyone was wearing the purple zip up American Apparel hoodie with the skinny jeans. And, and then it was beautiful because of like at that time, it was like this huge mix of culture, because in Chicago, why I think this happened is because there's this area called Wicker Park, and at that time it was completely abandoned. Now it's like it's not what it used to be, an expensive rent and condos, but at that time
is it like a yuppie area now?
It's super yuppie, and but at that time it was completely abandoned. All the storefronts were closed down, and artists moved into them, and it was parties from Monday to Sunday, and they were all inclusive parties before everyone was like, be inclusive. No, that's just the way it was.
It was naturally that, not because it was culturally forced.
And you would have in the same party, you'd have a punk rock DJ, a house DJ, and a hip hop DJ, and everyone was learning and dancing and partying to all those types of music.
Yes.
Which, in my opinion, that's why I love house parties, because it brings like the goth kids and the hip hop kids and all these different genres of people, because everyone's just looking for a space to like get drunk and party with their friends.
Yes.
That's not a club, and then it brings them all together, and then new genres appear out of that.
Thanks for watching this clip. If you want to see my whole interview with GL Joe, click here. And remember to subscribe and turn on the notifications, because I have so much more content coming. I'm also working on masterclasses that are going to teach certain things like how to be a pro videographer, how to be an independent creator, and much more coming soon. Stay tuned.